Poland's parliament has elected former Prime Minister Donald Tusk to be the country's next leader. Tusk's appointment comes after Poland's former leader, Mateusz Moravietski, lost a vote of confidence in parliament today. Now, that loss ended 8 years of rule by the Nationalist Law and Justice Party. Tusk is now expected to lead a coalition of pro-EU parties. All right, for more now, I want to bring in Magdalena Gwóźdź-Polakać from DW's Polish service. Magdalena, it's good to see you. It's been a tumultuous day in Poland. Donald Tusk is back in charge. Talk to me about how we got here and remind us what Donald Tusk stands for.
Well, we got to this point after the election in the middle of October, which has been won by the opposition. And Donald Tusk is the leader of the opposition. And this opposition is built of a bloc of parties ranging from left-wing to conservative to moderate conservative parties. And what Tusk stands for? Well, he stands mostly for a close relationship with the EU. As you may remember, he was not only Poland's prime minister a few years ago, but he also was the president of the European Council. And 1 year later, after he went to Brussels, his party lost the election, and the Law and Justice Party took power for the next 8 years.
Now, we know that in the past 8 years, we've seen Poland clash with the European Union on some significant issues. Remind us of what those issues were.
Well, there were quite a lot of issues. Some of them were the freedom of media and the minority rights. But, maybe the most important one, and which was standing in the center of the conflict between Poland and the EU, this was this so-called judicial reform, which we as journalists try to explain several times. It's very complicated. But, it was about the independence of judges in Poland, the independence of courts that have been doubted. And that led to a number of legal proceedings in the EU, and in many cases Poland has lost. And there was also the freezing of the European money that was withheld by Brussels for Poland.
We know that Donald Tusk, he is a known commodity in Brussels at the European Union. Now he's back in power. Will he be able to mend relations with the EU?
Well, he will, of course, try to mend them, and not only the relationships with Brussels, but also with Germany, with Berlin. But you have to remember that there are also issues that could be disputed in the EU, like, for example, when it comes to migration politics or the nuclear energy, for instance. But the hope is, of course, I suppose from the German as from the Brussels side, that the 11th of December, today, which mean a restart in the relationships between Poland, Brussels and Berlin.
What will this day moving forward mean inside Poland? Do you think that we are about to see some domestic transformative acts take place?
Well, that what is happening now, this is certainly what at least 11 million of Poles wanted, these ones who elected the opposition. And they hope that Poland will get a more friendly, a more tolerant, a more open face in the world and in the European Union. But you have to remember there is still a huge number of people who do support the Law and Justice Party, which did not win the election, but it was the biggest party. They got as a single party the most votes. So there are also many supporters still in Poland of them. And Donald Tusk, speaking today in the Polish parliament, said he remembers them and he will also them to feel at home in Poland.
Well, let's cross straight to Warsaw, where DW correspondent Monika Sieradzka is standing by. Monika, the Polish parliament took its time. Tell us how we got here to this vote of no confidence.
Well, this is a very special day in the Polish history of the parliament. the people say that this is the day of the two prime ministers, because where one prime minister is entering the parliament building in the morning and another one is leaving the parliament building in the evening, and very many people, a lot of people are watching all the day this kind of show, even and unprecedented show, and even one cinema in Warsaw is showing live all the day the parliament. But why it's happening today? Because after the October elections, the Polish president nominated the current prime minister, Mateusz Moravietski, as a candidate for a prime minister who should form a government, even if it was not possible from the beginning, because the Law and Justice, the ruling party, fell short of majority in this new parliament. So it was clear from the beginning that Morawiecki, this mission for Morawiecki was a mission impossible. But still, he had to do that, and in this way, postpone the forming of the new government, which would have a majority of the votes. It would be a coalition of three parties from left to liberal, with the prime minister, with Donald Tusk as prime minister, the former president of the European Council and the former prime minister of Poland. But still, first, Morawiecki, the leader, one of the leaders of the Law and Justice Party, had to try to form this government, and it took 2 months almost.
Monica, if I could just ask quickly, and I'm sorry to break in, former Prime Minister Donald Tusk, as you say, is tipped to take over as PM. When will we know that for sure?
Yeah, this evening, it's planned for after this vote. Now the parliament is preparing for the discussion about new candidates for the prime minister. Of course, it theoretically might be also other candidates, not only Donald Tusk, but most probably Donald Tusk will of course, get the majority of the votes. It should happen about 7 o'clock, or maybe everything is a little bit delayed to date, so maybe it's about 8 o'clock. So tonight we for sure know who is the new prime minister, and it looks like it is Donald Tusk.
Thanks, Monica. We'll be coming back to you as this story develops through the evening. DW correspondent Monika Szczerbacka in Warsaw. Thank you so much.